today. From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Taken at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And Mostert going to pick up a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A run with Mostert up the middle. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll begin by running the option. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Jackson running again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. First down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Here's the 4th-year man, J.K. Dobbins. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. It'll go down as a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first and 3 zip. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So Miami coming out for their second drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Mostert. And Mostert going to pick up a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
I'll bet there's just a big sigh of relief now, having finally gotten a first down running the football. They've struggled all game long. The defense has had their number. This may help their confidence moving forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a 2nd and 2. Tua sets up to pass it. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. David Ajabo, credit him there. He fired across the line and planted him for a loss on the play.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Mostert with a carry on first down, but he is not going anywhere as he is brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now the rookie 3rd-round pick, it's Devon Achane. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Jackson. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's 3rd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tua. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. after the sack here, 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Just one field goal and a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Jackson going to run again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 more on that one and another first down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Jackson, options out left. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Slot man moves right. And they'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now it's Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
2nd down and 6 now. On the option right is Jackson. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Dobbins will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. One more time with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? Jackson now. This for Beckham, and he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. Man, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Well, we're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Short throw, and it's a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. They're going deep for Hill. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll start with the option. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
2nd and 10. Jackson. That one complete to Prochet. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Two in, the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is playing?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. Now a 2nd and 10. Now Tua. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he'll be brought down very close to the spot he needed. And it's going to wind up being enough. Maybe by less than a football, but a conversion nonetheless on 4th and 3. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up 1st downs. That's what we just saw right there.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. On the give, this is their fullback. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. Another catch there for Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Tua to throw again. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Durham Smythe, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And the Ravens taking the field. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The D can only stop it 1 more time as they take the knee. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.